on your left. And welcome to I Need a Hobby, a podcast. I'm this week's host, Alex. And to my right, he's so 3008, Andrew.
Hello.
And to my left, he's so 3000 and late, Chris.
Hey.
It's 2000 late.
What?
It's 2000 late.
No, it's 3.
No, it's...
I just looked at the lyrics.
Wait.
I think he says,
so
I'm so
2000.
2008.
You so 2000 and late.
I got that boom boom pow. These chickens topping my
Why would
style.
they say they're
Or jacking my
2008
style?
though? When did the song come out?
2008.
I thought it would be, I
think
figured
it's,
like
you're
saying
so 2008. I'm so...
no, they would
No.
never say they're 2000. I think it's I'm so 3008 because
Oh.
it's 2008.
Oh,
and
and
I'm
you're
next
so-
level.
2000
You're so
and
2000
late.
and late.
Well, you might as well say 3000 and late. That's
No,
like
'cause
saying
they're
something
like-
else. They should
I'm,
say.
I'm 1,000 years in the future, and you're not even in the conversation about right now. You're late. You know?
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. My dad likes to say that
But
a lot.
I think-
My dad always says, like, that's so 2000 and late. I'm like, yeah, man.
Now I'm questioning it.
Yeah.
I feel like the Black Eyed Peas are poor songwriters. That's like a bad choice. They should have
Yeah.
said 3000 and late. What the heck? Or they should have said, I'm so 3008, you're so 2008. Because that's just like a pretty mediocre year. Like,
But
did
that's
anything
eight
good happen
and
in
eight kind of rhyme. But I think the song came out.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true. Huh. All right.
Well, we were gonna do this song on songwriting with featured guests, Big Boy on
Will I
2000.
Am.
Yeah.
Big Boy.
Is that who they are? I might be talking
Big
about
Boy is from
Oh,
Outkast.
Outkast. Wait, so it's Andre 3000.
who
right?
are great songwriters.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Oh, they could stay.
You're thinking of Will I Am and Fergie
that's
Ferg,
fine.
let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Holy
Holy
God.
moly. Could
What?
not even get through 10 seconds without this crazy talk.
Okay.
Jeez.
What's this podcast about?
Besides
This is
Outkast.
I Need a Hobby. It's a Black Eyed Peas criticism podcast. It's a podcast about challenges, hobbies, and activities. Chris, Andrew, and myself, Alex, are 3 young bucks. Every week we do a different challenge, hobby, and activity. We work during the 9 to 5, and we try to focus on the 5 to 9 with this podcast.
You bet.
So what's going on with you guys?
You know, not much.
What is going on?
Same old,
We got a
same
midday
old.
recording sesh.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
that might be my favorite time to record. A lot of times we're doing late night.
Yeah, I agree. The late night ones are tough, and then they just always go they're just so much longer than you expect. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, this
You
one
heard.
This
especially
one you
today.
got,
Like
you got a good day in front of you. You know.
I texted these guys like, hey, when do you guys want to? It's Sunday. I was like, when do you guys want to record? Andrew proposed like a late afternoon. I was like, oh, actually, like I'm going to this concert later, so let's do it in the morning. So we get in today. Andrew's just like taking his sweet time,
Was I?
and I'm thinking like,
Making some
okay. I'm like
eggs.
looking at my watch like,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
gotta go, guys. So he's like, I'm taking my time.
Yeah.
And then I say, I got this freaking concert to go to. He goes, oh, is that today? Is that today? I told you yesterday that it's today, dude.
Sorry, I forgot.
Who's the concert?
No, it's no one. That's Bruno
It's
Mars,
Bruno
man.
Mars.
You kidding me?
Oh,
I'm
okay,
missing-
now I don't feel bad
I'm
anymore.
missing a Wait, you guys want to go to a Bruno Mars concert?
I don't know. See, I think it will be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I am.
I would not
I am
wanna
not
go.
by no means a. I almost wouldn't say I'm a Bruno Mars fan. I
Mm.
like Bruno Mars, but
Oh, so you're getting dragged to this?
no, I want to go. But my friends are like, "Hey, we should go to a Bruno Mars concert." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, why not?"
Yeah.
So I'm not being
friends-
dragged, but it wasn't my idea.
Sorry, yeah.
Like
You know,
you.
that's
yeah,
what I.
you
That's
didn't
what I
organize
mean,
it.
basically.
Oh, I certainly didn't organize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is one of your friends like a super fan?
Yeah.
It's funny to imagine like
He's
a
got the
Bruno
same
Mars
haircut.
super fan.
Yeah.
He wears the like red leather jacket.
It is weird to imagine Bruno Mars super fan, right?
Yeah.
I've always thought Bruno Mars is like parents love Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some people at work were like, I told them I was going to a Bruno Mars concert, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there are some second graders at my school going. Could you believe their parents allow that?" I don't know. That's fine.
Yeah,
Bruno
he's-
Mars is like a PG-13
Yeah.
kind of guy. Like,
Yeah.
I could see that. Why
Bruno
not?
Mars kind of reminds me of like The Weeknd. You know,
Mhm.
is that like common or no?
Oh, yeah, I could see,
See,
that.
the interesting
I
thing
could
is
see
that
them being cousins.
I was
maybe.
just thinking that, but then I like can picture people being like huge Weeknd fans,
Well, the
Mm.
weekend is like.
but not Bruno Mars.
I think the Weeknd's a little bit more.
I would never let a second grader go to a weekend.
right,
concert.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Bruno Mars is a good-hearted guy, though. You know.
He
Yeah.
You can
is,
just tell
yeah.
he's happy.
He's a
loving
hard
it.
worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would catch a grenade for you.
Yeah.
He would, yeah.
Lucky for you, that's what I
We
like.
should do an episode of Bruno Mars similar to the Kanye West
No,
episode.
no.
It would last like 5 minutes.
Yeah, all the analysis of freaking
Like,
He is a great songwriter, though. He
treasure.
I
Mm,
watched
some
like
of
a
his songs are
clip, a mini, like not a documentary, but like one of those 60 minutes kind of clips
mhm.
on Bruno Mars, and he wrote a ton of very popular pop songs before he even had his own hit.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I respect
know?
that.
He's
That is cool.
in that song. What's that B.O.B. song with him? Nothing on you or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
No.
Nothing on you.
Yeah, he sings the chorus, right?
baby.
That was like one of his first big things. I think, right?
Nothing on you,
No.
baby. Yeah, I think that was his first hit.
wait. Where's B.O.B. in that part in that song though?
He's the.
Oh,
Oh,
nothing on you,
that is
baby.
B.O.B..
Nothing on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, I'm hitting them all. I got Black Eyed Peas, I got B.O.B., I got Bruno.
Wow.
All the bees, baby.
The big bees of.
All right. Big baller brand, baby. All right. I should have said that. So this week, you saw at the title, we're doing cycling for an
Cycling.
episode. This is a true hobby, I would
Yeah,
say.
For sure.
We're kind of getting back to our roots of
Cycling,
hobbies.
biking.
We asked for it and we delivered. Like an episode
A
ago.
hobby.
Nobody asked for much. We just gotta decide.
Yeah, we said. Yeah, one of my what's on your minds.
We literally
Let's do
said
cycling.
cycling. We should do that for an episode.
Mm.
Here it is.
And yeah.
Hope you want it.
So yeah, we're excited about it.
Do you guys call it cycling or do you call it biking?
No, I call it biking.
I was gonna say I do too.
Mm.
I think once
Riding
you're
my
talking
bike, yeah.
cycling is when you're getting into like the athletic.
Yeah, you need if
pursuit
you're
of
riding
cycling.
a road bike, road bicycle,
Yeah.
that's cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'd say the majority, if not all, of what I'm doing is just true biking. But
Yeah.
Let's call it cycling. I think it'll make this more official.
Like they would never have like mountain cycling. You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
They call
that's
that
true.
mountain bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go cycle to the grocery store. You know?
Yeah. All right, let's get into it then. What have you guys?
Should we start with like our
I
background?
don't know if we should start with the background because what are we going to talk about? Learning how to ride a bike.
Maybe.
I feel like that's
Alex just got like a boyish smile on his face after he realized how fun that was.
Oh wait, I don't know how to ride a bike, guys.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
That would be a great reveal.
Imagine if you only knew how to ride like a unicycle, but you didn't know how to ride a bike.
Wow.
What would be more embarrassing at our age? I think I know the answer actually, but not knowing how to ride a bike or not knowing how to swim.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Ooh, I think more.
I think-
I could understand someone
Mm.
saying they can't swim.
Yeah, I
If
was
you're
gonna
from like
say
a
that as
landlocked
well.
state and you don't know how to swim, I'd be like, all right, understandable. Biking though, but like
But imagine like learning how to bike now,
I
because
feel like biking
it's
isn't
not that
essential
hard.
at all.
At least I think so. No, it's not.
No, riding a bike is not
Biking
hard.
is
Yeah,
very
for
easy.
sure.
I
Yeah,
think.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Why are we having this conversation? It's literally like there's a phrase called, "Oh, it's like riding a bike." It's so
That's true.
easy.
It's not. It's like doing the breaststroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember learning how to ride a bike though. I'm trying to think like of that classic childhood memory.
Yeah.
And
See, I remember
remem-
my brother learning because
Mm.
he's a couple
Really?
years younger than me. Yeah.
Did you learn before you?
I think we I think we learned it around the same
Yeah,
time.
that
Like
makes sense,
I
though.
remember him learning how to ride a bike when he was like
you guys are
3 years
similar
old or
age.
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember riding with training wheels,
Mm.
but I don't, which I guess technically isn't a bike.
I feel like
Right?
riding with
It's a
training
quad.
wheels.
Yeah.
Like I feel like whenever I was riding with training wheels, I knew I was like, this is so fake.
Yeah,
you
what am
know?
I
Yeah.
doing?
Like I was like, I can
I'm better than
totally take
this.
these off.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
so
I probably
too.
couldn't.
But I don't.
Um,
Yeah, I don't remember before that because you can't fall when you have training wheels
No,
on. So what's
so
the fun of
stable.
learning how to ride a bike?
I guess
ride
it's
a
just so
bike?
you can like do it with other people, with all your buddies.
I guess so.
One, I do have a pretty good learning to ride my bike story. I
Yeah.
learned how to ride my bike at a college near where I used to live, Stonehill College, and
Oh yeah, cool.
I was looking at schools senior year of high school or whatever, and I was like, like that. Just college came up in my search,
Mhm.
and my dad was like, "Hey, you should write an essay about how you learned how to ride your bike there." I was
Whoa.
like, "That's a great idea." So I started writing an essay about it, and then I never applied there. But I did learn how to ride my bike there, so I have some
That's
good
cool.
memories of
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a good learning. Well, it might have been a little after I learned. And honestly, it's really like an episodic memory. Like I don't actually remember much of this at but I just have this memory of riding down my street very, very fast and then getting to a point where I was like about to get clotheslined by a mailbox, basically, and just like knowing it was going to happen. And then just it happened.
Did it happen?
Yeah, like I must have
That's
slowed
great.
down. I must have slowed down, but
Hopefully.
yeah, like and like you know when you're
It
a
all
kid and
makes sense now.
Yeah.
Man. Your whole personality. It all
It
makes
all makes
sense.
You're just like totally indestructible, and I was totally fine. I'm sure I cried, but I was like, I wasn't like hurt or anything.
Yeah,
much
it's weird,
later,
like-
but
Like
yeah.
if I saw a grown man riding down the street, getting clotheslined by a mailbox, I would be like, I have to call 911. This person is
Yeah, yeah.
injured beyond recognition, I assume. But kids do that stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Kids
yeah.
kids are like indestructible somehow,
yeah, that's great.
which
Yeah.
is scary because obviously it's bad.
Yeah.
Kids shouldn't be doing that.
Mm.
Gotta wear your helmet.
I think I was wearing a helmet.
That's
yeah.
PSA out there. Always wear your helmet,
Always wear
kids.
your helmet. I'll still say that.
See,
All right, let's get into that.
helmets is
Yeah.
interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all the type of people that wore our helmets growing up.
Yeah.
Like I always wore my
And
helmet.
Same.
I remember.
But you get made
What's that
fun
supposed to
of.
mean though? You'll go on to host a podcast.
Kinda, like,
I
I
am
don't
still
know.
wearing a helmet.
There are people that I meet now. I bet you know what I mean. There are people you meet now, and you could be like, "Dang, this is one of those kids who didn't wear their helmet and they
Yeah.
thought it was cool." You
Well,
know?
I remember
you can tell that's that personality.
around some age, maybe we were in like high school or middle school or something. They changed the law. You used to have to wear a helmet. Then you didn't. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Once you became a certain age, at least in Massachusetts.
So you don't have to.
But the
I mean,
age is like
don't-
13.
That's
or
insane.
something.
Why?
Yeah, it's pretty young. I don't know. Like, why is that a rule? And it's like, especially now where a lot of my biking is through like kind of like city streets essentially
Yeah.
with like a lot of cars. I would feel silly not wearing a helmet. You know, like what's the risk?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes no sense to not like. It's like wearing a seatbelt in your car.
Yeah.
It's not cool to wear seatbelts.
Yeah.
It's just
Maybe
kind
at
of
some
weird
point it
and
was,
stupid
but-
not to.
That was gonna be one of my what's on your minds actually. I think is that like just like not wearing a seatbelt is like so insane. You know,
It
Yeah.
makes
like
no sense.
what are you thinking?
It's
Yeah.
not like a
What are you
laziness
thinking?
thing
I'm
because it
sorry.
takes a second. It's not a coolness thing because you look freaking sick with a seatbelt on. Obviously,
Mhm.
what's the reason? Same with helmet. You know, you
Yeah.
look fine wearing a helmet unless you're wearing like a stupid helmet.
I think helmets look pretty cool.
Just
a
buy
lot
a
of the
new
time.
one. Yeah.
And this is kind of like this is definitely weird, but I'll just say it anyway. But so, like I have a class at 8:30 in the morning, and I often have been biking, as I was mentioning.
Right, we
last
brought that
episode.
up.
So I've been biking to this class, and like for some reason I just really enjoy like walking in and
Dripping in sweat.
basically, yeah, like
I love this.
like sweaty from the bike ride. And I got like my helmet in my hand. You know, it's just like
It's cool.
a weird kind of like. I felt very good about my day where I biked like 6.5 miles or something.
And
to
you are
start
wearing
my,
the bike,
my
the bike,
day.
the,
It's
like
like-
tights, right? You usually stroll in with
Yeah.
like the bike suit,
The bike shorts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
got
it's like-
Lance Armstrong.
It's like as a runner, you like wearing the road race shirts or something. I got
Of
one on
course,
right
you're
now.
wearing one right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Because it's like it shows you're a runner. You're proud to be part of that community. Same thing. You're walking around with your bicycle.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Or with your
I am
helmet, I
pr-
mean.
Well, I don't. I feel like a poser, kind of. I'm not. Sorry, like I don't enjoy it because I feel like I'm part of the community. I enjoy it because I'm like happy. Like I did a bike ride. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you wouldn't
I
bring
don't
a
feel
helmet
like
around
I'm
if
a
you
biker. Like check this out. Here's my helmet. I'm
I like
a
you,
biker.
if you're a cyclist, you're a loser, and you just ride your bike everywhere.
Yeah.
If you're a biker, you're a part of a gang.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
what
If you're a
it sounds
biker,
like.
you're like a motorcycler. Also, yeah, quick tangent, but people who call motorcycles bikes, that always throws me off.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah.
it's probably not
Yeah.
weird.
Dude,
I
you're
rode my
telling
bike
Like
me.
in many culture, or I mean, sorry, I don't know cultures. Like I don't know
In the dream.
regions,
Yeah.
regions,
Oh.
yeah, or like maybe not
People
in
who like
America,
motorcycles are
or I
probably
mean,
call it
sorry,
that.
maybe not in New England, but maybe in other
Yeah, well,
areas.
I
where
know this
people
person.
just call motorcycles bikes.
I know a person who is into motorcycles, but I didn't know that at first. And
because
you
they
know,
call them
I know a decent. I know a little bit about bikes, like bicycles
Yeah.
and cycles, bicycles. So this woman goes, "Oh, you got to see my new bike." Blah blah blah. So I'm thinking she's talking about like a Schwinn or something. You know?
Yeah,
A Trek.
actually,
You know, not a dang Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
That's
it's
funny.
weird. But
Yeah.
whatever. I don't
Yeah,
care.
like when I right before when I was saying that like I biked to school, you guys are probably thinking I was cycling,
Yeah.
but I was actually riding my motorcycle.
Yeah, you were doing like
Plot
a
twist.
little John Travolta out of the movie Wild
Yeah.
Hogs.
Yeah,
It was
like
a
I would pull
midlife
off
crisis down the
my
street.
helmet and I would flip my hair back, and it was like that's why I was so proud of myself.
This episode's gonna be called "Cycling with Motor" in parentheses before. Take it either way.
What was I gonna say? I just had something to say about. Oh yeah, about helmets. So another thing about helmets that I thought my friend brought up a good point about this was we were talking about helmets because I do wear my helmet to commute to school
class.
now, but I don't wear it like we've biked to.
What?
Yeah, hold on.
That's fine.
We've actually biked to like the bars before.
Nice. Responsible,
in like
dude.
a normal town, and I don't wear my helmet for that because it's like weird to like I don't know like
I'm
not that
almost
not that I'm
thinking-
like vain maybe, but like I don't want to get my hair all messed up and then
Okay.
like I guess I'm like I'm on the bike path. I'm very careful. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say if you're on a bike path, I could understand it more unless you're doing it for speed and you're going really fast.
Yeah,
But
I'm not-
If
I'm
you're
not
just going
going
for
that
a
fast.
joyride or a relaxing ride on a bike
Mhm.
path and not wearing a helmet, I'm not a proponent of it.
but no,
can
I do
understand
wear a
that.
helmet for that. It's just like in small situations, I kind of like assess that the risk is worth it, even though it definitely isn't. You know.
Dang.
Yeah.
But another thing is like.
You shouldn't be saying this. Dude.
Whatever. I also don't want to lose
No,
my
I'm just
helmet.
kidding.
Like this is silly too, but like bringing it out and then it's like, all right, now I have to leave it in my milk crate, and then it's like, well, you know,
Someone could
what
steal
if
it or
someone
something.
wants my cool fashionable helmet?
Yeah.
It is
But
fun.
anyway,
You
that
put stickers on your helmet.
no,
That's
I
a cool
haven't
thing
in a
to
while.
do.
Yeah, that's
I
a
need
good
a
idea.
hobby.
Honestly.
Dude, right?
Slap around his
There's
helmet.
a-
But what my friend was getting at before was that like there's like this funny like helmet etiquette. I think you guys will agree. It's like when you're a little kid, you have like that classic helmet that like adults kind of wear now too. But when you go from like fifth grade to like
teen
eighth
years,
grade,
wearing the
you
skateboard
have that
helmets.
skateboard helmet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking
I
about?
did that for
I did
sure.
too.
That's it.
And then-
Just that like small window for like 4 or 5 years.
I mean,
Like
I've seen
everyone has that other helmet, that
Yeah, I
skateboarding
think I still
helmet.
have that thing.
And
in,
then
like,
when
my
you're an
parents'
adult, you go
garage.
back to the little kid style
I've seen
helmet.
adults with the skateboard helmet.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I have not seen
And
that.
it looks
Yeah.
fine, but like, if I saw like a, I don't know, 45 and over dude with a skateboard helmet,
Yeah.
I'd be
It's
like,
like, whoa.
dog, come on.
unless you also skateboard. Unless you're Tony Hawk, I guess.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you're like in your third, like I could see someone like in their 30s wearing that
Yeah.
helmet. And be like, yeah,
Mm.
I just
Hang
I
loose,
yeah.
brother.
I just thought
Yeah.
that was funny. That's like random. It's like an unspoken rule.
that
you
is
know?
very
It's
true.
like-
Yeah, because I did that.
Like-
But then I moved on. Like when I started riding a bike in like in high school, I definitely wore like a, what would you call that? Like your standard helmet,
Yeah,
like
just
I-
with,
yeah,
like the
like a
little,
bike
like,
helmet.
like a Wilson
Yeah,
brand
visor
helmet or
type thing
something.
on it.
Yeah, with the
something like that.
visor. Wait, so
Yeah.
would you say, Alex, that you've and Chris, you can answer this too. Have you guys like when you were kids, you did not ever ride without a helmet? Because I definitely did.
No,
I
I'm sure
did ride with a
did.
helmet for a while, and then like I like the little joyride aspect, I would not
Mhm.
use a helmet.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure I did, but I don't know. You know, when you're a kid, like you know something is right. Like I knew I should wear a helmet,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it just takes one person to say like
That's not true.
loser, and I would be like, dang it.
Throw
Now,
your
now I
helmet
have
away.
to like risk my life to be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I did, but I think I most of the time, because I would just ride in my neighborhood. It's not like I would go for these massive long bike
Yeah,
rides.
same.
Yeah.
So I would just ride with my brothers or with my neighbors, and we would wear helmets.
Yeah, I would always wear a helmet. I'd say that age, like middle school time, was when I did the most biking. I would like, and especially in the summers,
Yeah.
because those summers I really didn't do. Like I would maybe go to like a camp for a week, but other than that, I'd just be hanging around.
Right.
So I'd be out on my bike like most of the day.
Classic.
Just
kid
because it was
stuff.
like I
Yeah.
didn't have a car, I couldn't go around. My parents weren't just gonna like drive me all over the place all the time, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
And you're wearing a helmet. you
always
said.
wearing a helmet. Yeah. I remember some of the most fun times I had was like me and my siblings would go ride our bikes to like just like a restaurant or something,
Yeah.
and then like come in with our helmets, kind of probably feeling like Andrew rolling into the class and be like, "Yeah, we came here on our own." Like when I was like 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of
Biking as a
fun.
kid is like totally different. It's
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like
It's freeing.
It's like your
It's
only
freedom, yeah.
way of
Yeah.
only means of
I could
transportation.
go like anywhere within like a mile of my house
Yeah.
because I have a little park pretty close to my house. I would just
Mhm.
bike around there all day. That was a ton of fun.
yeah. And then we would play Pokemon Go too. Do you remember that as kids?
Yeah, as kids, yeah.
You pull out the Pokemon Go and
Of
you're just
course.
like, whew,
You're just
hatching those eggs.
biking
And
slowly, like
Dang.
trying to hatch an egg.
I wish.
Oh man,
Um,
that'd be cool.
yeah, but biking now, I really only bike. I don't. I'll get into why I don't bike much now, but college and post college a little bit. I only bike now just to get somewhere else. I'm not doing it for
Mhm.
fun, really. It is a
Mhm.
hobby, I get. But if
Well,
I'm
I
gonna go biking, I'm gonna
personally, like,
because I don't want to sit in traffic or something.
being where I live now, moving into like closer to like another city near my school, but still living in like perhaps the most rural like farmland area that I've ever lived in, and
Right.
it's like less collegey, and it's close to a bike path. It's been very convenient for me. But knowing where you live, Alex, I feel like biking is more or less dangerous. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, there's times where it'll take me. They do that. They've done that classic thing where it's like point A to point B, car versus bike, and it's
Yeah, I
like if
can
the bike
imagine
wins
that.
by 45 minutes or something.
When there's a lot of traffic,
you know,
yeah.
so if there's a bunch
Really?
of traffic, I don't ride my bike anymore.
hmm
I'll explain why. I used to ride my dad's bike, which was probably from like the 80s
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Yeah.
For years it was fine. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Every time I rode it, this was like in high school or maybe in college when it started happening.
Hmm.
Every single time I rode it, it would get a flat tire. It's
Jeez.
like, oh, that's weird. And so
That
I
is
would
really
pump
weird.
it back up. We would get new tires. We would try to figure it out. Nothing. Still flat tire.
Wow.
One time I was riding my bike to my grandpa's house, which is probably like 7 miles from my house. And I'm riding, and I think I start to feel like, oh, shoot, is there a flat tire? I was like, no, probably not. We just changed them. So I keep going. pop. It just like popped, and I was like,
Wow.
I still like 3 miles to go. So now I'm like, I'm
That's
walking with my bike. So embarrassing. Someone pulls up to me and goes, "Hey, do you need a ride?" And I'm like, "No, it's okay." So I should have said yes, obviously.
Yeah.
So now I really don't ride bikes now.
Wow, that's like traumatizing.
because
Seriously.
bikes are expensive. So I'm
They
not, I don't
are.
want to
They
spend
really
like
are.
I don't know $500 or something.
least.
Oh, that's the other thing.
on a
I
less
asked
than
for a
decent
bike,
bike.
for my birthday at the end of the summer for school this year. Basically, I actually got it at the beginning of the summer because I feel like that's like a prime biking season. So I
Yeah.
got it like a little early. But that was like my big birthday gift because I knew it was going to be like expensive because I had like this basically like department store bike that was just like not good. Like
Right.
Mhm.
they're just not durable, you know, and it's just like
It's tough, yeah.
didn't work.
I know it's
Because
tough.
where we live, like there's probably glass just on the ground
Right.
regularly outside my house.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
true.
like, I don't want to, risk.
But
getting this-
biking in cities is a extremely common
It is,
thing,
for
you
sure.
know. So it's
Mm-hmm.
That's
you just
That's what I said when I got the bike. I was like, basically thinking like to the future, like, could I use this in a city? Is what I said to the guy, and he was like, yeah, this is like basically he called it like a commuter bike. I
Yeah,
there's
think.
like those
that's
hybrid
perfect.
bikes that are like they're not road bikes. They're not like
Mhm.
speed
That's what
cycling
mine
bikes
is.
or
That's what
whatever.
mine is. I
Mhm.
think.
But it's like it's also not like a mountain
Because
bike
it's
or whatever,
not
so it's
like
half and
he
half.
said like he basically said like don't it's not but mine might be a little worse as in like it's not good for mountain biking at all,
Yeah.
Right.
but it's not gonna be fast. Like
Yeah.
it's literally
I feel like-
just for like bike
I
paths.
feel like
and
that's
stuff
perfect
like
for
that.
guys like us.
Yeah,
know, like,
exactly.
That's what we're looking
And it
for.
wasn't too expensive, but like at the same time, like it is a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a lot.
See, and that's
to
like
deal with.
there was a period of my time. Listeners to the show know we're all like kind of runners. That's like one of our main hobbies. And I was thinking like, oh, it'd be cool to like do a triathlon one day. And
Too, God,
I have a
I
friend.
got a story about this too.
I have a friend who's really into cycling, like competitively cycling and triathlons. And I was talking to him, and I'm like, "You think I could get a good bike for like a few $100?" And he like scoffed at me.
He's
and
like,
he was
yeah,
like,
right.
He's
No.
like, unless he's like, you can find one on Craigslist sometime. That's like a good road
Mm.
bike for racing. But he's like,
Dang.
besides that, like he said his bike cost him well over $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is whew,
That makes sense.
it's
I
like
did-
a used car, you know.
I did one triathlon one time.
Mhm.
Maybe I've told you guys this story.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
It was with that
share
same
it.
bike. So I've never transitioned from swimming to biking before in my life. So I swam a quarter mile, very tough
Mhm.
because I'm not a swimmer.
Mm.
I get on my bike and I'm thinking, Lord Almighty, it is hard to bike after swimming. I must be so tired from that swim. What is going on? The 10-mile bike ride. I got to the end. My dang bike had a flat tire the whole time.
For what, like a 10
For
mile
10
bike ride?
miles. So I get off and I see that and I think, I should just quit. I was so mad. And so I ran the stupid 5K, like swearing at myself the whole time.
So
That's hilarious.
What was the distances for that? Because my friends and I are thinking now. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard this. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'll mention it. So we did the Disney Marathon
Mhm.
Yep.
episode, and you guys ran it.
Sure
so
Yep.
we had our friend, my friend Tim, who ran the marathon. I don't know if we mentioned it during,
Mhm.
but he ran a really good time,
Right.
and he actually missed the Boston.
You did tell me that.
Yeah,
I
did I
know.
tell you this? He missed Boston by like
15
10,
seconds or
15
something.
seconds.
Right.
Which is
Tragic.
brutal because
That's
he
painful.
qualified
He ran
and
3
and his
hours.
time was like really good. Yeah, it was like 3:01 or something.
Yeah.
3:01 something. It was like most years it would make it, but I guess it's
I
just
think
getting
they
harder
said that
and
was like
harder.
the fastest qualifying time yet. So he
Exactly.
would've made it
So-
any other year.
Anyway, so he was kind of bummed and he was thinking like, because he was originally planning on running that this April and
Mhm.
now he can't. So he was like, let's do a triathlon.
Mm,
And we were like,
yeah.
yeah, like, and I was going to ask you guys too, because we had kind of floated the idea about it for the podcast, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But, and like we were saying, oh yeah, we could, like we were looking at the distances and stuff. And then another thing was, my other friend said like, yeah, we don't even have to do it. Like, we don't even have to do it in nearby. We can do it anywhere kind of.
Yeah, take a trip.
Right.
And then my friend was like, yeah, but we have to
Move your
Bring
bike
your
to
bring
your
the bike. Yeah.
That's
and it's
true.
like, oh.
It'd have to be like a road
Yeah.
trip thing.
Yeah,
You can't
so-
do it like
Yeah.
a fly.
We had to like think about that, but maybe we could do it for spring break even. But I think the one we were looking at actually was in June. And I personally was pretty into the idea because I'm not training for like a marathon anytime soon, and I
Right.
was thinking, you know what,
Mm.
like this is good for me. I mean,
Yeah.
it really sucks that he didn't get in.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
I've always wanted to do triathlons.
Yeah.
So
Like-
wait, so what was your distance for that one?
Oh, so it was a sprint triathlon. So it
Yes,
was, I think it's
that's
a
faster.
quarter mile. It's short. Yeah, everything's shorter.
Mhm.
Quarter mile swim, 10-mile bike, or it might be like 10.2 or something.
Yeah.
And then a
5K?
5K.
See, I think the one we were looking at was like 10K.
Yeah, that's the Olympic.
That's the
distance.
Olympic. I think a good distance is a good challenging difference that I've heard is equivalent to running a marathon is the half Ironman,
Yeah,
which they
I'd
say
like to
is
do that one day.
easier than a marathon.
What's the half Ironman?
It's
I think we
it's
were
like a
scared.
mile
I think I
swim.
was scared
Yeah.
of
I
that
think it's like
one,
1.5 or 1.1 or whatever mile swim,
Jesus.
50 something mile bike.
56 mile bike,
Then
and
a
then a
half
half marathon.
Yeah. See, we were not looking. That was. I think Tim wanted to do that one because obviously, he qualified for
He's a
Boston. He thinks he could take on anything. But my other friend and I.
I
were
think
like,
my thoughts with that is if
no.
I was going to train for like a sprint or a shorter triathlon, I'd be like aiming to get a good time.
Right.
Whereas if I did that,
Yeah,
That-
that's
I
why
would
think
just want to
it's-
finish.
It's similar to a
Which is
marathon
fun.
where it's like,
yeah, like my first
I wanna at
marathons
least
have been like I
finish.
want to finish, but like with like if I'm training for like a 5K run, it's like
Because think about it,
I'm gonna finish. I'd like to do it fast.
Yeah.
we could do all of those. Like,
Yeah.
we've all run half marathons.
Yeah.
We've all 50
Yeah.
whatever miles on a
You know
bike
you-
is
you know you
similar to a
could
half
do it.
marathon. We
Yeah.
could do that.
The
It's just
swim
putting them
is tough,
together
too.
is going to be very tough.
That's true. Yeah.
Swim, I would probably drown,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do it except for obviously
Except for
I will not
Alex's
make
death
it
on the
in
first
swim.
leg.
Yeah, the swim. I have been concerned about that though. Actually, like
Yeah.
I was scared when I was doing the quarter mile swim because there's people right next to you.
That's true. I've
I
done a
don't. I
race
barely
swim.
know how to swim. I'm not.
like there's no
Phelps.
like there's no one to save you, right? Or no?
Oh, I'm sure there
that-
are people there to save you. I
No,
mean,
there isn't.
I
would.
pictured it being like I'm not gonna make it.
I
you
would
know?
not be surprised if people like have issues. Like, I don't want to say die, but like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a big thing at big triathlons where people.
There's a lot of
have
people
problems.
out there, yeah,
Because if you're not used to swimming and you're
Yeah.
swimming a mile,
or 2 miles.
that's like not used to running and running a half marathon. Like,
Right.
Some people don't. You won't even finish that.
And that's like good. So we were thinking like for training for that would be we have like public pools that we can use. So I would at least be able to do that. And we could do
Right.
a swimming episode too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we should. That'd
Like
be
a running,
biking, swimming.
cycling, biking, and
Yeah.
then swimming,
That would
and
be
then
cool.
put them all
And then the
together.
try.
Yeah.
But
It's just convenient to like. I would probably know. I would do this swim, and then I'd be like, okay, I can make it this far. And
Yeah,
I'll be
but the thing
okay.
is, it's so much different. Like, I went to this when I was training for this. I wasn't even training. I was just trying to get used to swimming
yeah,
for this one. I went to this lake because I figured, it's going to be in a lake. I'll swim in a lake, 1-to-1. And it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're training in a lake with no one around, the water's,
It's calm.
calm.
Yeah.
You go into triathlon, people are splashing all around you. You're getting elbows in the face and whatnot. Like, it's 100 times harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
that's true.
So you got to do what you could do. Like,
Hmm.
it's still better than not swimming at all beforehand.
But you're saying that, so that's interesting.
What I'm saying is, don't get a flat tire during your triathlon
Yeah.
because you'll never want to.
Because
do
I would say that like during races, I found that my times would improve because it's like race day atmosphere.
Yeah,
But
you
you're
get the
saying that it
adrenaline.
might actually be like tougher
Just
because
because
of
like the
the
water
atmosphere.
stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
it's not like a 1-to-1 comparison.
Correct, correct.
Especially if you're swimming in a pool compared to
Mhm.
swimming in
Right.
open water. Like
Yeah, that's true.
that's definitely not
Oh,
a
dude,
1-to-1.
that
But
scares
it's
me
close.
so
Yeah.
much.
It's probably like running on a treadmill
Mhm.
if you're training for a race on a treadmill
It's gonna be different when you
versus
have
running
hills.
on
yeah.
a road course.
Yeah.
Like you're still running, but
Mhm.
it's definitely not
yeah.
the same.
Yeah. Cool. Should we bring it back to biking?
Yeah.
No, I was going to start talking about
I
swimming
have,
more. My breath choked.
one of my favorite things about biking, I'll say, that I've done a few times is when I'm in a new area. A lot of times you can get like if I'm on vacation, I'll
Yeah.
push to go and like rent a bike because it's just like
See, I
a
feel like
good
that's a
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I feel like that's a good Cape Cod
We've
thing.
done that.
Yeah.
Chris and I have
yeah,
done that in the
we've done
Cape.
that. We did that in Cape. I went to
Or Rhode Island.
You know what?
something
That
like
was funny.
like a
That
beach
was
town.
actually part of my marathon training.
Yeah.
My first marathon. It was like
Mhm.
we did like it wasn't that big, but it was probably like almost 30 miles
Something like that, yeah,
for a
pretty
day
long
of
ride.
biking.
It's a
Like,
good
like
day.
15 each way or something.
I
It was
like
great. Yeah.
because when I'm on vacation, I like to push for like let's be outside, let's see stuff,
Yeah.
let's
Right.
do everything. I don't
I
like
like
just like
that.
sitting around. So like I went to California this summer and we biked all along the beach for like 20 something miles, and it was like I mean
That's great.
I was a little tired after, but more than anything, it was just a good way to go see
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I did
And
the
it's
same-
different. It's different like that when it's not familiar to you.
Yeah,
It'll just go by so
Doing the
fast
same
because you're
bike
like,
ride over
wow,
and
look at
over.
all that, look at that. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I rented a bike camera when I was in London, and just went around all day on it. Like, and I saw pretty much
In
the
Europe,
whole
they
extent
have
of
all
the city.
those. Maybe in other cities too, but in Europe they had like those bike share things.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
on the. Do you know these,
Yeah,
Alex?
they have those
Yeah.
in every city.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
They
like
have those
just Europe.
everywhere.
those are big here. Yeah.
That's
They
really
have-
funny.
They have them in this town. This isn't even a city. Yeah, they have them everywhere. It's,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
like
I thought those were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
for
think
sure.
those are great.
I
That's a
never
good
use them.
touristy thing. But yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
such a good way to see if you're not used to the area. Because
Yeah.
you could go for a run or something.
Even thinking
But that's a
about it
straight up
now,
workout.
when I moved to the new neighborhood I live in, that was one of the first things I did was go for a bike ride because I was like, let's
Yeah.
see like how long it'll take me to get to here. You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
I'll go bike to this grocery store. I'll go bike
And
to this park. Yeah.
It is kind of wild how like you don't realize how fast you can get to places on a bike. You can
Mhm.
get to places really fast
I
on a
know.
bike. Like
Especially
I think
depending on where you are, like we said with the traffic.
right.
Mhm.
Like you could go like what 5-minute miles? Is that too hard?
No,
Not
faster,
really.
probably,
5-minute miles
yeah.
is
5
pretty
minutes. Yeah, you
pretty
could definitely do
easy.
it on a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe not easy, but still, it's like
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Easy
it
for
works.
me, maybe not the average person.
Yeah.
and then like obviously flat terrain really helps, but
Mhm.
Now you were saying, Andrew, that you've been biking to school
Yeah.
when we brought this up in a few episodes ago.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it's getting you fatigued.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, I actually took a week off since that. I mentioned that before this episode, where I biked more this week, and I was so much better this week because I
Mhm.
think it's just like I was biking so frequently and to a point where like it's kind of like you're not in shape when you're running and you're not in shape, then you're not as good, you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
And
Now the Tour de France cyclists,
yeah.
they go like 100 days without stop. Like they don't
That's
have rest
crazy.
days.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
It's like 100 miles a day.
They'll
They
bike
go
like hundreds of
forever.
miles, go to
Jeez.
bed,
Do it
wake up
again.
the next day, do it again.
yeah,
Gotta
that,
go,
Which
like,
that
makes
is
me
crazy.
question, like
Pop some steroids.
how
quick blood
hard.
transfusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Icarus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How hard is it? Are these legs like easy? You know, like
What, the ones that we're doing? or
if
the
we
ones
did
they're-
one leg of a Tour de France,
No, yeah. So
would it be easy?
I have-
Like,
I have a family friend who's a serious cyclist. Like
Uh-huh.
he competes, and he went to France on a vacation and did one of the legs, like
Yeah.
one of the tougher legs, which
Like
is
not during it though.
not
just-
during
okay.
it. Just like with some friends.
Yeah.
was it your Uncle Lance?
It was
Armstrong?
Yeah. Different lands. No, but he told me
Leg week.
he was like it was one of the tougher rides I've ever done, and like he's done out on 100-mile rides almost every weekend. And he was like it like the hills it just gets him.
It's so that
Yeah.
amazes me.
But that's always been like amazing to me. It's just
Yeah,
been
for
like
sure.
it's kind of just like I see it. I'm like, nope, you know.
Yeah.
Like same with swimmers, like Olympic swimmers, like nope,
Yeah.
not gonna do that ever.
Yeah.
Not gonna try. Not gonna
Because
care.
even myself is like a pretty I enjoy running a lot. Like the idea of doing a marathon every day for
even
you
any
know,
race, like if you race it, even if we did a week of just 5Ks,
yeah.
if I'm racing a 5K, I'm gonna
Mhm.
be very tired
Yeah.
at the end.
yeah.
That's true.
You know, it's
I
hard
did,
to do another
I did
one.
one of those relay running races.
Ragnar
Yeah, the
ones?
Ragnar, and you run 3 legs throughout. It's like a day and a half essentially.
Yeah.
And it was like the third one, I was so tired. Like I did so bad, like so much worse than I thought I would, just because it was like I'm tired.
It's like people are
That
like
makes sense, but
people are like, cycling is like they're the biggest steroid abusers.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's because they have to do 500 miles in 2 days. Like and they need it.
Yeah,
Let
they
them
do.
use it for God's sakes.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy.
Mhm.
I was looking up before this episode. I was doing research and I was looking up famous Lance Armstrong quotes.
Mhm.
So I can't talk. And it's insane. Like it's almost like I don't know. Like when parents say like, yeah, Santa Claus is real. Santa Claus is
Mhm.
real. Like, come on, we all know Santa Claus isn't real.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's like when they get asked, "Oh, are you on steroids?" Don't even ask that question. We all know
Yeah.
every single good cyclist is on steroids.
He's
It's like so
yeah.
weird that everyone's denying it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like every single quote was, "I am sick of being accused. I am not on steroids." Like, dude, you just look weird now saying that. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
look like you're
everyone knew
saying,
at the
"I
time.
know Santa exists." Like, dog, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
for
it's
sure.
like Chris Angel saying, like, "No, this is real.
Yeah.
Like,
This one is
this
this
magic is real."
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on. We know that's not real. We know you're injecting yourself with testosterone or whatever.
doing something.
Oh,
You guys-
Chris, I was like Chris Angel.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean, Chris Angel.
That's what makes him so magic. You guys hear about the new movie that came out? It's like Tour de Pharmacy. It's called.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
You
I
watched it?
recommend it for anyone out there.
It's like a
it's just a spoof on like
documentary, right?
biking
Yeah.
heroines on steroids.
I haven't seen it, but I
hilarious. Yeah,
definitely
worth
heard
seeing.
it. How was your guys' experiences like this week when you're biking? Because I have some cool like I don't know. Personally, we're in like the maybe not the heart of fall, but we're definitely getting there.
Right.
And it was really awesome. I love biking in the fall.
Mhm.
Now, do you still hit
Yeah.
up the bike path in the fall?
Huh?
Do you hit up the bike path
Yes,
still in the fall?
yes.
You're not afraid of leaves?
Not
Like, you
afraid.
think you would slip and fall in leaves?
It's all right. I got my helmet
You're
on.
tough,
That's
man.
true,
That's tough.
Yeah, I will say I've said it 10 times, but I'm currently training for a half marathon. So I think biking for me has been a good, just like cross training, something
Yeah.
I do when I don't want to run. And even if it's just like the other day I went and was like, oh, I need some groceries. I need to stop at like CVS. It's like, yeah, I'll go out for a bike ride, you know?
See, I
Get
never-
something going.
I never feel like biking feels like enough. This is gonna make me sound like a bragging jerk.
I know what you're
but
saying though.
It doesn't feel like a workout. Like even if I
Yeah.
go for an easy run,
I agree.
I finish and
For
like
sure.
I'm sweating and it's
Yeah.
tough. If I wanted to feel the same with a bike, I have to like look like a jerk that's biking way too hard.
Yeah, I
like,
agree. I don't.
like
I'll try. If
speeding down the road. Like,
I'll
yeah,
never have
chill.
like. I would never have like a bike ride replacer on. I don't think, especially
Yeah.
with the bike I have. Like I don't
Yeah.
have a nice
See,
bike, so it's hard for me to
But
like.
biking's
get fast.
interesting for me. Whereas like you know how if you're doing like a bench press or something, and you don't really like notice you're tired, and then all of a sudden you're really tired.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like for me with biking, where like I feel like fine, and then all of a sudden like I was saying, my legs are just fatigued, and I'm like whoa. But it at the same time, it doesn't feel like that workout that running is to me,
Right.
and that's definitely just because I'm like we're like runners at heart. You
Yeah.
know, that's just that was our first love,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna like change.
I mean,
so.
I get that way with biking up hills.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I remember growing up. Whenever I biked up, you know how you stand up when you bike up a hill?
Mhm.
yeah,
You'll stand on your pedals.
yeah,
and sit.
yeah.
Like I didn't do that for some reason. I never did. So I was like,
You
I
slowly
just
go
didn't know what to
down.
do. And I had this girl who lived near me, a neighbor, and she was like, "You don't even know how to stand up and cycle." And I felt like the worst I've ever felt in my life. Like it was so insulting. And she was right. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, just talking about that kind of brings me back to another memory. The town I used to live in had this hill.
Oh yeah. You
that
gotta
me
have
and my
the
friends would like
classic
ride
tough
down,
hill.
and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'd do it on the bikes or on like a Razor scooter, and this is around the
That's
time that my
terrifying.
the bikes would have pegs on them,
Mhm.
and also like handle like we had pegs in the front too.
And also
So,
handlebars.
Handlebars, obviously.
This bike has handlebars.
But I remember I have such a vivid memory of me and two of my friends going down this hill on one bike. I was,
That's
I think I was on the
terrifying.
pegs, and my friend,
dude, it's
Evan in the seat, Casey on the handlebars, riding down. I think we had like a pillow involved. we
Just
made
in
it down all
case.
right, but
it's
it was
just
so
prime
fun.
kid indestructible
great
thing.
kid
I remember my
stuff.
brother and I doing that too. I remember hurting myself so badly one time by trying to go down a steep hill on a Razor scooter.
Yeah.
And then I bailed because I was gonna fall, and the thing swung around and like hit me in the shin, and it hurt
Ouch.
so
Yeah.
badly, because those things hurt.
Dang.
That's just a classic stupid kid thing.
that's classic. But
funny.
that hill thing, like
that is
I feel like
good.
every kid growing up has that hill that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scary to
That's
go down.
great.
but you
That's
gotta do
great.
it.
That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
that sucks if you live in like Kansas or something and you never
It's
had
so
that.
flat.
You don't know what a hill is.
See, now as an adult, like I don't even want to bike down a hill because like I'm
Me
gonna be
neither.
going too
Yeah,
fast when
right.
it gets to the bottom.
I'm always slamming
I'm
on the
too
brakes.
afraid to go
Yeah.
fast on a bike now
Same,
because
yeah.
of traffic.
Mhm.
I wish I was a kid.
Yeah,
still.
we're not,
Yeah,
we're not
it's
kids
so
anymore.
cheap.
Not
You
indestructible.
guys ever use a stationary bike?
Yeah, I was
Ooh.
gonna bring that up, like to
Yeah.
work out in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
See,
I
I
feel
have,
like
yeah.
that. I feel like is a
That
workout.
I can get a workout.
Because
I
I'm
agree,
okay
I agree.
trying to go fast with that.
Yeah, because you're not gonna look.
You're
like a
really
bike.
like you can, because you could turn up the resistance too, so you can
Mhm.
always make it so that it's
Exactly.
more hill-like. Or that's a good point. But at the same time, like that kind of sucks, and regular riding is
Oh,
really
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It's
So-
the worst. It's like it's worse than a
Yeah.
treadmill. Honestly, I
Yeah.
would say.
Really?
It's just,
Yeah.
I think it
boring.
is. Yeah.
I'd say they're in the same ballpark for sure. It's like it's the kind of thing that like running on a treadmill, I get kind of tired. Biking in a gym, I can do like mindlessly. Like even if I am working pretty hard, I've
Yeah.
like my parents used to have one at their house, so there would be times where I just throw on like the Patriots game on a Sunday
you
and
put,
just sit
like,
on the
some
bike for
Netflix
like
on.
an hour and a half and be like, whoa, I biked 35 miles.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely not this. Like if anyone said, "Oh yeah, my hobby is cycling," and all they did was
Yeah.
like stationary
Stationary biking.
biking,
Yeah.
I would be like,
That's crazy.
"Don't listen to my
The
podcast."
spin classes are like a hobby
Ugh.
these days, though.
Spin classes, everyone loves.
I have a lot of friends.
Have
we
you guys
gotta-
ever been?
No,
I've
we
done
gotta-
one.
we
I went
Incredible-
one, it was-
incredibly challenging.
I agree. I thought it
Yeah.
was so hard.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to go for the podcast.
Because it's like-
I would.
I used to
Oh,
be
it was
on
not fun at all.
a cross country team in college for a year, like the club team, and the coach also taught the spin classes.
Oh,
So
really?
he'd have us do those every now and then.
What does it entail? Because people
Essentially-
love them.
You're on a bike and like there's varying resistance, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll just tell you certain things like, "Oh, go as fast as you can,
Yeah,
like go this
they
pace."
say like get off the saddle or
yeah,
something.
yeah, like stand
That's
up.
when
you
stand
yeah,
up?
or, like,
Yeah.
do this, do
I'm
this.
lost there.
But I feel like with the one I did, at least, the whole thing was like go as fast as you possibly can. And
Yeah,
then
it
just,
was
like,
really
up
hard
the
for me,
resistance, up
too.
the resistance, and then
Dang.
literally got to a point in mine where like people were like, it was full resistance, go as fast as you can at the end, so everyone's like not moving.
Do you guys know the
Oh,
Airdyne bike?
No.
You know
yeah,
what that is?
I've seen those.
So
I've
it's
never
this
used one.
bike. It's a stationary bike that's pedaling, and your hands are doing the motion too.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I have
but
seen
it's
that.
not an arm erg, which is like your hands are doing the
Yeah,
pedal.
mhm.
yeah.
It's like your hands are going back and forth, and the resistance is this like giant fan. So as soon like the
Yeah,
harder you
yeah.
go, the harder the
The
resistance
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So it's like 5 seconds in, you're already like dead. they're very tough.
That's cool.
On the bike path, I've seen some very strange kind of contraptions.
Like the Squidward bike. You know,
I think I know what
the
that
is.
reclining
Like
bike.
sit
I don't
down,
know
yeah.
what those are called.
I've seen the reclining one, and then I've also seen one that where like the guy is like, man, all right, I'm gonna put my mic down and demonstrate this because I can't explain
we'll
it
do a little-
otherwise,
we'll do a
and
little-
then we can try to describe it
we'll do some
together.
color
But it's
commentary.
like this.
Andrew's
Andrew's
on all
naked?
fours.
No. He's just like pumping his arms.
Oh yeah,
around.
that's like it's
in
like the
circular fashion, I
handicapped
guess.
marathoners.
Yeah.
will do that.
when they do the hand cycles.
What is
Yeah.
that? A hand cycle. Yeah, that's what it's called.
It's basically like Chris said, pumping your arms, kind of
Well,
like.
Chris said you were naked.
Mhm.
at one point.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to mention that part, but yeah.
They're always naked for some reason.
But I don't know, just weird stuff like that. I've seen like really tall bikes too. You know?
Like the penny. What are those called?
yeah, I
A
don't know.
penny cycle or something like that.
Something like that.
A penny further?
yeah.
A straw penny? No, I don't know what they're called.
I think you're dead farther on.
Like, I'm just thinking of Abraham Lincoln.
And just some like I don't know, but at the same time like wow what oh my goodness we are
What's
already
wrong?
we're 40 minutes in.
You are so like amazing.
I
Yeah,
just
that
didn't
was
think it was
crazy.
that far.
You
into
just
it. That
literally, like,
triathlon.
the
I know.
last
Yeah.
15 seconds of this podcast were, what?
Huh?
Really?
What?
Wow. Huh? Who goes
Guys,
there?
you're not going to believe this. Wow. Okay.
We are
Andrew.
10 minutes in.
I wonder how this is going to translate to our ratings. I'm kind of curious because
Uh-oh.
this has. I mean, I feel like we've had a lot of memories.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's a nostalgic hobby.
Oh, our ratings. I thought you
That's
meant like I thought you meant like our podcast
Reviews.
ratings. Like,
yeah.
are people going to give us like 2 stars because this episode sucks so much?
I wanted to get into like before we move on to like one of the last things I want
Mhm.
to talk about like biking culture because I would
Mm.
say that's
Mhm.
like a negative of mine is this is so weird but when I'm biking I absolutely hate saying on your left like you were saying Alex hate it like
I feel
but
that.
at the same time I people who have the bells
Hmm.
to me that's like totally a dick move even
Yeah.
though like it's probably not
yeah,
but like
I
that
could kind of see
the
that.
bells to me is just like get the hell out of my way I don't care
But
about
you don't like on your left?
no, I think on your left is good. I just feel very uncomfortable personally.
You
Like
do,
I don't
yeah.
like saying it,
Mhm.
but if someone says it to me, I find it respectful. I find it fine. But the bell to me is just like like move,
Yeah.
here I come.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
it's
right.
a huge dick move to me,
Even though it
which
is
is
the
so
same.
silly.
Yeah.
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 But to
I
me,
get- I get
on
what
your
you're
left is like okay, like all right, I'll move out of the way.
What about those jerks that have that dumb air horn?
Those are clowns.
I would prefer that.
But
Yeah.
like
I'd
the other
prefer
day,
that
like
too.
I had like there was just like a mother and daughter like walking her dog, and like I was like, oh, on your left, and I like didn't say it loud enough, so then I was like,
And then
I
I
get closer. I'm
I
like,
hit the dog.
I'm like on your left, and then like I just like I said it too loud,
Yeah.
and I was too close, and then
Yeah.
she like scooted over faster, like oh sorry,
Yeah.
and I'm just like man,
I
I
can
screwed
see
up
Andrew.
again, you know.
Andrew's
Yeah.
like on your left. On your, he takes out a massive bell. Ding, 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 ding. On your left, for God's sake.
It's like that one with like the stick in the middle. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to bike culture, like I also, even when I'm not, like I can't stand people who don't respect people on bikes because it's like
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
you
Yeah,
go
it's
two,
like a
two
battle.
different ways. So it's like one, if there's a biker on the street who's like mostly on the side of the road, like just drive around him. And then
Mhm.
two, I do a lot of running, walking, biking on this bike path near me. And I've seen people walk like 6 people wide down it, and
Yeah.
you know people are biking here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
And
your,
running here.
I'm
Get
going
out.
through.
Yeah. Pardon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that should be it.
Pardon.
Pardon.
I think that's how they do
nowhere
it
they
over,
have no idea where they're going.
over in England. That's how
They
they
just
do it.
dive out of the way.
All right. What about bike culture? As in, like, the people who aren't like. You ever see people walking around with one jean
Yeah.
rolled up because they're a cyclist?
Oh, I was
One jean rolled up.
Like the pant leg of the jean of your jean. You're wearing jeans.
Just one?
jean pants,
a single jean.
and you roll up one pant leg.
What's that all about?
You don't know that? You guys
No.
haven't seen this? This is a
No.
common thing.
What do you
I think
put
it's
in
something
there?
else.
No, it's because
Or what? Do you have like a sock?
it's because
They're
when
hiding
you
something in?
no, well maybe
'Cause your
it's my
quads are too
spare
big.
chain. No, it's when you
Yeah.
when you're biking, the side that the chain is on gets caught up in your pants if you're biking with pants on.
Okay.
So it's I get it, it's functional, but people like won't even be biking that day, and they're like, I'm a cyclist, so I gotta roll
That's
this up.
Really?
That's
That's
It's
funny.
like, come on, don't do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like we're super critical of like all if you're
community.
hardcore if you're hardcore anything,
Yeah. Chill
we
out.
will make fun of you. I guess.
Yeah. My,
I'm okay with that.
yeah.
honestly.
my opinions can be summarized just by saying like, take it easy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you ever see those? I don't want to cuss on this podcast. You ever see those videos where it's like S cyclists say?
Oh yeah.
Shh.
S
What?
asterisk
Like
asterisk.
you watch those and you're
I-
like, ugh. You know what? I'm a tricyclist now. I can't. I don't want to deal with
I
this.
feel that.
Have you guys ever unicycled or have any idea? Or
I'm trying to think.
I
do-
had I
know if
bought a
I've tried.
unicycle at a yard sale one time.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah. Great buy.
You, have a
$5.
you own a unicycle?
$5. Sat in my garage forever. Tried to figure. I think there was a flat tire, and I never looked into like
Mm.
getting a new tire. And then my dad eventually flipped it for $5 at another yard sale. So
Nice.
There was a guy at UMass
we had a few
in
of
my
them
early
school.
years that was unicycling.
That's a classic
around.
college thing. A guy unicycling.
They did this news report on like the unicyclists at my school, and it just made me sad.
See, I don't like.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Because another thing with this guy was like, and maybe this is just how you unicycle, but he wasn't very graceful. Like he was like,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
like
pardon.
actually, yeah, just screaming pardon because he was tipping over. But like actually, he was like leaning like back and forth, which might be how you're supposed to do it.
I
But
think it's common.
it
I've
never
seen
looked
that.
like it literally looked
You don't
like
look confident
oh
at
crap,
all.
this guy's gonna fall. Like
Yeah.
it was not
Yeah.
fun to
I
be
don't
around.
like. You know what? This is a bold statement.
Let's hear it.
I know you guys agree, but you're afraid to say it. I don't want to cuss, but F unicyclists.
No, I agree.
Why are you riding a unicycle down to your class?
Yeah, it's
it
weird.
can't. If you ride a bike to class, it's because it's a efficient means of transportation.
Yeah.
Period. You're saving money. You might be saving time, and you're getting a workout in. If you're riding a unicycle to class, you're only doing that so people look at you and say you're riding a unicycle.
You're like, let's make this a little
That's
more
so-
difficult.
Yeah,
That's so-
I'm on board with
That's
that.
so wacky
And
of
it just
you.
makes me think like imagine like before you're gonna go do that, you have to learn to ride a unicycle. You know, like out like, and you don't learn a unicycle when you're a kid. You have to, as a grown man.
Yeah, like
learn
you
to
have
ride
to
a unicycle. Where
go
are
on
you gonna
YouTube
do
and
that?
say how to. You know what?
Honestly, dude, like that to me is like very similar to like if one of us just like started juggling like to class, like literally like
See, I was thinking that
There's
when you
not
said,
much
like,
of a difference
Guy
to
going
that.
over and over, side to side. I was like, it's like watching a guy juggling. It's like,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm,
like,
I'm okay with guys juggling.
But
Heck,
to
we did
class-
it for an episode, one of our best episodes yet.
I'd say so too.
But if you're running to class juggling, like you're literally only doing that so people will look at you.
Yeah.
Like, chill out.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm glad we said that.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I feel better about that. Regular cycling and biking around,
Mhm.
I think it's great. And one thing I wanted to add at the very end is this is just another like kid nostalgia. But I was just biking back after the bike path, and I like passed a yard, and there's kids playing Jackpot 500, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is awesome. Like maybe it's just like not biking related, and it's like New England fall.
Mm.
You know, the leaves are coming down,
Right.
and but what I'm getting at is I like seeing stuff like that on a bike. I feel like you can
You
kind
could
of just-
truly
you-
appreciate the outdoors.
right. You're
Okay.
biking around, and when you're running, it's good, but it actually isn't the same. I think on your bike, it's just enough like exposure to so many things, and you can really kind of be like, you know, howdy neighbor, and then you move on.
And
kind
there's
of
something
thing.
great about like not even going full on minimalist lifestyle, but there's something minimalist about a bike where it's like
Yeah.
if I had this same thing, 100 years ago
Mhm.
or whatever,
Mhm.
same transportation. I'm
Yeah.
just riding a bike. Whereas
Yeah.
a car, you can't really say that.
Mm.
You're not using gas. You're just using your two legs.
And do you guys have milk crates on your bike, or have you ever done that?
No.
Because I think it's maybe not essential, but to be able to
Yeah,
be
if you're
used like what
commuting
you're
it-
saying in that situation, it has been so convenient to just even your backpack. It doesn't feel like a lot, but to be able to put it in the milk crate, it's
Yep.
just so
Yeah.
convenient.
I've never
It's
really
so
Understandable.
convenient.
truly commuted on a bike. I guess
Mhm.
I did
Yeah.
a little bit to school when I was in college, but yeah, definitely
Yeah.
would help.
I don't know. I think that yeah. I guess I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say now?
Oh,
You know what?
think we should
Wrap this
save
up.
it for the
True-
ratings?
When was the bike invented and who invented it? Because that man deserves at least a handshake. You know.
Yeah.
They're for sure a 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Free
Yeah.
unicycle.
Yeah, unicycle. I'm gonna. You know what? The next person I see unicycling, I'm gonna kick the unicycle out from under them so they fall.
You
You
know
know,
what's
I
a-
don't care. I don't care if they get hurt.
You know what's a funny thought? Do you think the unicycle came before the bicycle? You would think. I initially
No.
think
I
probably
was
not,
thinking,
but it's
like-
like the unicycle. The bicycle is like just a better version of the unicycle. Why
wondering,
would they
like-
make the unicycle after the bicycle?
That's
It's
true.
like
It's
a
like
show
silly.
thing. It's like a show
Yeah.
thing.
Like the tricycle probably came. See, it would make so much sense for the tricycle to come first.
Right.
Hmm.
But I assume the bicycle came first. Right?
I don't know.
And what about like a Segway? Is technically has two wheels. Is that a bicycle?
Oh God.
Maybe if you break down like the Latin,
I
like
think
the
I'm a
high-
biker, guys. I'm riding my Segway
Yeah,
here.
that's true.
All right, you guys want to get into ratings then?
let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's get to
All right. So ratings, we rate the hobby that we did, challenge or activity, of course, on a scale of 1 through 10.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. It's my roommates. Yeah, we're doing an episode on cycling. It's a hobby.
Finally.
Yeah. Phew.
So yeah, we rate it 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Chris, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll get into it. So like I said, biking, bicycle and cycling. For a while it was like maybe my premier
You called it
hobby.
a bicycle earlier, Alex?
Bicycle.
Accidentally.
Back in like middle
Not
school.
purposely.
But since then, it hasn't been like a humongous part of my life.
Mhm.
I bike to class every now and
Yeah.
then. Lately, though, almost never. I have spent a lot of time on the stationary bike, but I'm not going to include that in my opinions. I think
It seems like you have to restrain yourself from the
But I'll save it.
stationary bike's 10 out of 10.
I'll save it for my blog.
No, I think the thing that makes this hobby tough for me is, like I said, like if I wanted to get into it seriously, it's a big commitment. It's like you have to buy a very expensive bike.
For cycling, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I don't think I'll ever truly be a cyclist unless I have crazy money and just trying to find something to do with it. For now, I think I'm just a small-time biker, which is fun, but I think that's going to be the cap.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know if I'll ever get beyond that. Maybe I'll do a triathlon one day. Who knows? So I'm going to give biking a 7. I do enjoy it. And heck, I'll give it a yay. I will be
Alright.
doing it the same way I do it now, but I don't think I'm.
Yeah.
If the episode was called Speed Cycling, I'd give it a net.
Right.
We didn't even get into the crazy cycling that they do in like the dome. You ever see that?
Like on the track?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not.
Wait, is that
that,
what you mean?
that stuff's
Yeah.
that is
insane.
certainly not a hobby.
No,
though.
it's not. That's
That
I
is like
guess it
legit
hobby,
speed
but it's like a
cycling.
sport.
Like
Yeah,
that is.
that's crazy.
Have you seen the pictures of like the guys' legs
They're
that do it?
Yeah,
They're jacked.
They're like
they're tree trunks.
as thick as my torso. Fans at home can't see, but in grade school they called me thick torsoed Alex. So that's saying something. All right.
Wow.
All
All
right.
right, Andrew, you want to get the ratings?
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, Chris, I liked a lot what you said. I guess I'll just spoil my rating because it is the same as Chris's. It is a 7, yay. And
Nice.
that is because I've really enjoyed my time biking. The big thing was what I mentioned at the end, where just like seeing the scenery and people playing and other people biking even is nice, and it's very convenient to like get around. I've really enjoyed biking. We've also biked, like I mentioned, we biked to bars, but I've also biked like to restaurants nearby, and it's just kind of like a cool way to, I don't know, be active, but at the same time, it really isn't that inconvenient. Like especially, and also biking to school, I have to park so far away from where I have to go,
Oh, that's a good point too.
and like
And even parking in the
like
city is such a
what you're
pain.
saying,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Ugh.
biking has been pretty convenient to get right where you need to be. And places are very bike accommodating too, with bike racks everywhere. So overall, I think it is pretty good. However, like I just can't get that full enjoyment out of it that I would get out of running or some other hobbies. So yeah, I'll give it a 7, yay. I definitely want to keep biking, but maybe I don't know. Maybe if I continue to bike more, I'll like it better because I have had times where like I'm with a friend or something and we end up doing this long bike ride and it's just really great. But 7, yay.
Wow.
Alex.
You really got me thinking.
Yeah. Good.
Hmm.
You ever do a tandem bike?
Never.
I've always wanted
Like
to.
when you said
Never
biking to
have
restaurants, I thought like sounds like a. You know what, ladies, listen up. That sounds like a great date.
Yeah.
You and your girl hop on a tandem
That's
bike.
a good Tinder description.
You
We're
go
just
down.
looking for someone to go on a
Yeah.
tandem bike
Someone
ride.
to
with.
hop on my tandem bike.
Eh.
Ah.
You take the tandem bike, I'll take the unicycle. Meet you there.
You find another date.
Bad. All right, so I would agree with a lot of what you guys said. I think the idea of biking being very like easily accessible almost, or like you said about parking, it's very easy to lock your bike up somewhere. Basically do it wherever in a city. I think that's great. Like every city especially should be like trying to get further away from people using cars.
Mhm.
Either public transportation should be really good or everyone should be biking. So people were telling me that they were I think recently in maybe it was Belgium or somewhere in Europe, and they were like, it is insanely bike friendly. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking like every city's bike friendly.
Mhm.
They're like the roads were like
I know
mostly
Amsterdam's like that.
bike
It's like more
lanes,
bikes than
not
cars,
mostly
yeah.
car lanes.
Crazy.
So I'm like, that is great. Like it should be like that. Everyone would be relaxed, chilled out. It would save the earth literally. Like
Yeah.
it would be awesome. So after that, I'm a fan of bikes, clearly.
Yeah.
I would say I can't see myself continuing, like definitely not calling myself a cyclist. or biking that much. I told about the flat tire story and whatnot.
Mm.
But I do enjoy it.
Traumatizing.
I kind of wish I had like a pretty nice bike. I think it would be nice, but at the same time, it would not be worth it. Like I know I wouldn't
For
bike
you.
enough
Mm.
at this point in my life, but maybe later. So I'm gonna agree with a 7, but I'm gonna go nay.
All right.
Unfortunately.
That's fair.
All right, interesting.
All right. If you have a rating for biking or cycling or bikeling, email it in at idhobbypod@gmail.com. Now we're going to hop into the next section of the show. It's called What's on Your Mind. Thankfully, we're still getting theme songs from everyone. So this week we got one coming in from Lance A.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars, no handlebars. Look at me, hands in the air like it's good to be alive. And I'm a famous rapper, even when the paths are all crooked.
Thanks, Lance.
Pretty good song.
That was such a good song.
I
That
can't-
song is so good.
I can't believe that
That song is really
that
good.
they write these songs just for us. You know, like
Mhm.
people take the time. It's like it really has very little to do about most episodes, but they were just kind of banking.
Yeah,
on
and there's a
doing,
lot more. Like we just didn't want to play the whole thing,
Yeah.
but Lance A sent in like a full-on song.
Yeah.
You know.
I can show you how to do-si-do.
Oh, wow.
I can show you how to scratch the
That's pretty good.
Take apart the remote control.
I
But
can
I can
almost put
almost
it back together.
Yeah, that was great. That was good.
Lance,
Thank you so much,
Lance,
Lance.
speaking of Lance Armstrong, I'm pretty sure he ran the Boston Marathon one year.
He did, and I think he had a solid time
Yeah,
too.
whatever his time
I think
is.
it was like 2:40s, something like that. It was
Oh,
pretty
that's really
quick.
good.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
legit.
Well, is it though? Because I mean, it is, but
it might be fast.
he's
so
also
far,
like
but
one of the
he
best
is
athletes.
like the
I
best
know,
athlete in the
best
world.
like endurance athlete.
Yeah.
So not even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
What a loser. All right. Actually, like I think it's fair to say like, no, maybe not. I don't know. I have like very like
I don't think I know enough
mixed
about Lance
opinions on
Armstrong.
Lance
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
He has a great role in that Tour de Pharmacy movie.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, oh, he's
Dang.
so funny. I
Well,
don't
if he can
wanna spoil it,
make
but
fun of himself, then
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's bonus points.
stay humble.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards good guy.
You do
for
still
Lance
you do
Armstrong.
still wear your Livestrong
Yep.
bracelet.
Livestrong.
Nice.
All right. So for what's on your mind, we like to say stuff that's on our mind.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, Lance Armstrong has been on our minds. But what else we got, Andrew? Let's hear it.
All right, guys. Here's what's on my mind this week. More of an invention that I thought of that isn't that good, or maybe someone can make it better. But basically, I'm doing my laundry this week. I'm sure you guys have thought this. Why do we have to put our clothes out of the washer and put them into the dryer when they're right next to each other?
It's a great thought.
Why don't we just have connected washer dryer, and when it's done with the wash, it
Just-
like sucks it into the dryer or something?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
was thinking just a one
I was gonna
function.
say. Are you
oh,
thinking-
one. I was originally thinking one function, but I think that might be like too confusing beyond like it's like that science is beyond my control. What I can understand
Teach
is
me more about science.
or
Yeah,
beyond
that's fair.
beyond my grasp.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
what I can understand
you know
is
for
like
a fact that it's possible to transition from
Yes.
washer to dryer. So
Yeah.
let's
Yes.
just take the person out and make it a machine.
yeah, just like
Mm.
it's literally like a wall, right? Like a wall closes or like small thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you're washing, wash your clothes, they're
Uh-huh.
done. Finish it, wall opens,
Oh,
sucks
so-
it into the
Oh, we're talking
into the
valves.
dryer.
We're talking
Ooh.
valves here.
I'm
Basically,
thinking,
yeah.
What if the washer's on top of the dryer? Just drop straight in.
Drops in.
Ooh.
We're
That's
using
a smooth
gravity now.
transition
That's
right now.
efficient too.
that's
Right,
that's
save us some
definitely
money.
better.
Ooh.
But then again, you have to be like 7 feet tall probably.
Mhm. And what if your clothes are fragile? They might like they
haven't
may
Yeah,
break when they
glass
hit the
clothes,
bottom.
yeah.
My silk pants.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll last.
You know my light bulbs that I sometimes wear. as a
Oh,
belt?
you meant that type of match. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I see it.
I like that, but you know what? My I think that's good in a perfect world, but
that's just
a lot of times when you get stuff like that, it just becomes a worse version of both.
Mm.
You know,
It's like an erasable pen.
exactly like an erasable pen, or like I was thinking the jar of peanut butter and jelly in
Yeah.
one. It's like
It's
Oh,
weird.
that
this
is
is
so
just
dumb.
mediocre of both.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but okay.
So
but
I'm saying in
do
a
you-
perfect world, if it was good, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But if not, it's like
Mm.
I might as well just do it the old way.
that makes sense because you're right. It's like just not inconvenient enough to really change.
Right.
Like I'm fine with having to transition my clothes my whole life.
See,
Yeah.
this is something I've been thinking. Speaking of laundry,
Mm-hmm.
like it's very annoying to do laundry, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to do
I
it.
put it
Yeah.
on for way too long.
So Jay-Z,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And Beyonce, they probably don't do their own laundry,
course
right?
Probably
No.
not.
At what point in like true success do you get
Mm-hmm.
to the stage where you're like, I don't have to do my own laundry? That's insane. Like Jay-Z 30 years ago was probably doing his own
Yeah.
laundry, right?
Mm.
It's probably like really big. Like I was just thinking like I bet like
So then what celebrity is still
Yeah.
doing their laundry? I'm thinking Bryan Cranston. He's still doing his laundry.
No, I
don't
bet like Tom Brady. He's just like he lives in like a family.
But he doesn't have to do
So
his
does
own
Jay-Z,
laundry.
but so
He
does-
probably does, but he doesn't have to.
Jay-Z and Beyonce have a family too. It's like
Yeah, but they're like mega superstars.
that's
I
true.
feel
Yeah,
like.
it's definitely a
Maybe
different
Tom
level.
Brady is.
Tom
too.
Brady is too.
I'd
I think.
say,
I'm saying what stage of celebrity still has to do their own
or like
laundry?
has to like mow the lawn or something. I
Oh,
guess
mow the lawn. That's perfect.
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
I'd think about it is like when you think about Jay-Z, he makes so like whenever he's working, he's making so much money. So
Right.
he could pay someone $20 an hour to do laundry, or
Exactly.
he could
So, and
make
so that's what I'm saying.
thousands of dollars an hour making beats or something. I don't know.
Right. But what like Aaron Paul, I got Breaking Bad in mind clearly, is famous, but he like from one TV show basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like he's got this, and he's young, so he still has to work. It's not like he's got this great, expendable income or
Huh.
whatever that he could say, all right, I don't want to mow my lawn anymore.
Maybe though.
So
mean,
where-
I feel
what's-
like, I feel like I know people who have people come mow their lawn because it's not that expensive, probably.
I guess. It
And
just
when
feels like
you're
it's a
making real
waste of
money.
money.
For me, I wouldn't pay someone to mow my lawn. 'cause-
Right.
All right, so is that your what's on?
Yeah.
your
Haha,
mind?
gotcha.
Or,
No, just something I've been thinking
yeah,
about.
all right, that's fine. Yeah, there's my idea.
But yeah, I like the idea.
Potential
For sure.
That's potential.
Hmm.
All right.
Chris, let's hear it.
Here's what's on my mind. I saw the other day the town that I grew up in, and more towns have been putting in place plastic bag bans at like
Oh, wow.
grocery stores.
Yeah, where my school is banned it
Yep, I
like
know
a year ago.
Cambridge and Boston
Yep.
also did, but like certain.
So they
areas don't.
encourage you to buy the like reusable ones,
Mhm.
or they give you what is it? I can't think of the words. Like not cardboard, but
Oh,
you,
like
know,
a-
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like the brown paper
Yeah.
bag kind of, but like
That is what it's called.
Just a paper bag.
A paper bag.
paper bag.
The
Paper-
brown
paper or
bags.
plastic?
The brown paper bag.
Yeah, you're right. Phew.
Jeez.
Well, when I was
Stroke.
when I was in, I think it was in high school,
Mhm.
we did an experiment, or maybe it was just like a research thing, to see which was more impactful or harmful on the earth or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And like we were taught that they were both equally bad,
Really.
but now a few years later,
Yeah, plastic.
it's
is
like
pretty.
so clearly
hated.
people don't want plastic
Yeah.
bags. I feel like
Mhm.
that was a quick turnaround. You
Yeah.
know?
So what I'm thinking now though is like, so imagine these like small convenience stores. Like
Mhm.
I don't imagine that they're gonna quickly transition to like selling, like, because if eventually they do it with the pepper bags too, like, are they all gonna have to sell these like canvas bags or stuff like that? Like,
Yeah. It should be like
it makes sense. I can agree with the law, but it's like if I'm in a pinch and I don't have a bag, like
I think
I'm
I
interested. I think what's on my mind is I'm interested in like the transition. Is
Yeah.
it like is it just gonna be more of a cultural norm? Like you need to have a bag in your car, like because that's
Right.
something I never have thought about.
I mean,
I think that is gonna.
you're right.
Be,
It's like gonna be a
It's
weird
gonna have to be,
transition.
right?
Yeah.
But I think like if the concept of grocery stores were made just now this
Mhm.
year, or even without the bag stuff being in the news,
I wonder how we would have got to this point. But
yeah.
Yeah,
But like, and they said like, oh, you got to bring your own bag. Everyone
okay.
would be fine with that. No
Yeah.
one would be like, you're not supplying bags,
That's
you know?
fair.
Because other stores, you go in and buy something off a shelf,
Hmm.
you can just walk out with it. That's fine. But
Yeah,
grocery
But at the
stores-
same time, like that would be so inconvenient to have to take that into account when you're buying groceries. Like, I only have 2 bags.
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You know,
it's just
because the paper bags aren't great, but like I don't mind
Hmm.
the plastic bag ban. It's like, whatever. We'll
and
just
maybe
use this.
who knows? Maybe there's an industry coming out for these bags. Maybe we get some cool bags. Some I need a hobby.
You're right. That is-
canvas
that
bags.
That's a good
Mm.
point. Yeah.
Canvas bags are like,
Maybe that's
is
the
that what
new-
you call those? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've always
printed
called them.
canvas
Or
bag or something?
well,
Reusable bag.
and canvas
Tote.
can't.
Tote. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm.
Canvas bags are a little different. Like,
Yeah, I know.
like-
Yeah.
yeah, they're different. Whatever. I don't want to get into it too much.
No,
but
get into it.
they're
Just kidding.
they're just like they have a different material than like
Mhm.
the bag that I'm thinking of that I own as
The-
my reusable bag.
Yeah, I feel like the reusable bags are like bare minimum.
Right.
This will hold something.
Right.
It's perfect because
Yeah.
that's the point. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not using a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not harmful. Dang.
All right.
What a weird world we're living in.
Seriously,
Yeah.
crazy.
This was a good like green episode, I feel like.
Yeah.
Biking and we're talking about that.
Yeah.
Here's what's
Nice.
on my mind. How much gas do you know? So I sent you guys a Snapchat of this actually,
Mm-hmm.
but something else happened last night too. So the other night I was at a bar around just after dinner time, so it was probably like 7 or 8 maybe.
Yeah.
And it's a sports bar. They have all these games on. And then they also had Star Wars Episode 3 on.
Yeah, that was
Isn't
really
that
funny.
weird? Isn't that
Yes.
so
Silly.
weird at a bar to see not only a movie and not only like a pretty like, you know, what's the opposite of critically acclaimed? Like,
Panned.
pretty panned movie,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but a third episode of a trilogy, like, you know,
That's true. It's
if you
very
didn't see the
specific.
first 2, you
Yeah,
can't
like-
watch this one, and it's a bad movie, and it's a sports bar.
I had to see that. remember watching that again because I was so surprised, and then I was like realizing like, wow, other TVs in the Snapchat are playing sports. Like why?
And it was
Yeah.
and
they
it
were
was a
all
good day.
playing
Like
it.
the playoffs in baseball are going on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then the next day I went at like night.
Oh god.
They're playing Rambo. What's with this bar
Same
playing
bar?
movies?
Same
Same
bar,
bar,
okay.
same TV.
Wow. It must just be the designated like AMC or
It was
some whatever
it was
channel.
TNT, but yeah, you're right.
Makes sense.
But that's so weird.
Because TNT plays basketball just every now and then. They
Yeah,
probably just
that's
got
true.
lazy.
And at a
It's not
bar, like,
basketball season.
or I mean, not at a bar, but if you're watching a movie, if you're watching sports, definitely don't need the audio.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, but
if
movies.
you're watching a movie, that's key. You know, it's a huge part of enjoying the movie.
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
audio.
true.
And I was, this is pointless.
I
Put on like the news,
Right,
you know?
especially
Put on
like
something
especially
else.
Star Wars Episode 3.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, insane!
like
right?
what? Like who's coming to the bar seeing that with no audio and being like, all right,
Let me
cool.
grab this table.
See,
right
I
now.
was
Like,
loving it.
I think even non-sports fans would rather not watch that. You know.
Yeah.
I was loving it because I was talking to girls. I was like, "Oh, the game's on." Like, "Oh, so who do you think's gonna win?" And they'd be like, "I think the Yankees." No, I mean, like, do you think Obi-Wan or General Grievous over here? Like,
That's
who do you
great.
think's
That's
gonna
a-
win this
that's a great
battle?
line.
I didn't do that actually.
Next time.
I just thought it was so weird. But
yeah.
Do you guys know that apparently Darth Maul in the first episode didn't die, and that's like canon.
Hmm.
That he like
I
he
didn't
was
know
like
that.
chopped in two, and then he got like spider legs. I'm dead serious. You can look it up.
Spider legs, so he looks like the boss in Monsters Inc. You know that monster? Does he look like that?
That's
I can't picture it, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
guessing yeah. Like he it's like in that movie like that thing like Clone Wars or something. You know that
Oh,
was
you're
like
right.
Yeah.
somehow canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So,
should do
yeah.
a Star Wars episode for sure.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should leading up to the new movie.
Yeah.
Never seen
Yes.
it before, so I got a ways in front of me. I'll
Yeah.
do it, though.
All right. Well, so if you have anything that's on your mind, those are three honestly pretty great examples
Yeah.
of what should be on your mind. Email it in at ineedahobbypod@gmail.com, or you can send it to us on Snapchat at ineedahobbypod. Chris, you want to hit us with the plugs then?
Of course. I'll hit you with the plugs. So ineedahobbypod.com. Find everything you need there. All our episodes, our Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. I Need a Hobbypod. Buy yourself a dang shirt. T-shirts should still be available at this point. I think so.
ineedahobbypod.com. Hit the shop tab.
Just got mine a couple weeks ago, and boy, does it feel great.
Mm.
Leave a review. That'd mean a lot to us. We always love the reviews.
Yeah, we need the reviews,
Say
guys,
something
for real.
nice. 5 stars would be great. If not, don't put it. But maybe shoot me a text.
Yeah.
Like,
Text us. If you have criticisms, shoot us via text. Let us know via text.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
actually though.
If you have compliments
Or
and
an
are
email.
willing to give 5 stars, let us know via iTunes review.
And if you do send us that text, we'll get you out that 5-star level very soon.
But actually, yeah, if you have our numbers for real, like,
That's weird.
and you have stuff to say about the show, like we've had episode suggestions sent to us via text,
Yeah.
or Snapchat. And it's
Alex's phone number is on the back of our T-shirt.
Yep.
Very small font, so you're gonna have to buy one to go. Try to
great. Nice. All right. See you next week.